everyone, this is Sunniva.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are giving you our first impressions for Marvel DAGGER. This is a new game from Fantasy Flight Games, designed by Dane Beltrami.
It plays from 1 to 5 players in 3 to 4 hours.
That is long.
That is long.
Wow,
that is long. But it is what the box says.
It is. Marvel DAGGER is a new cooperative game where you are gonna be heroes from the Marvel universe. Obviously, you're gonna be Batman, and you're gonna move around the world, defeating enemies, doing missions, trying to stop the nemesises' big evil plan by resolving his different missions, and then at the end killing him, or at least defeating him in an epic showdown that's gonna be remembered for the whole of the universe's time.
Cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be our first impressions, and we got the game, we played it once, so this is gonna be, and we got the copy from Asmodee Nordics. So why we're doing only our first impressions is basically because when you're watching this, we are on vacation and we wanted to have videos while we were away. So first impressions is better than no impressions.
That is truth be told.
That is kind of like my word of the day.
Yes.
So Marvel DAGGER. Very simple overview. I kind of already did it. You're moving around, rolling dice, and using actions. It's a kind of action selection game. You have these small tokens that you use as your actions. You're going to place them on different actions every time it's your turn, and back and forth between the heroes when everybody has used all of their actions. It's going to be the Nemesis' turn. It's going to be an event, some different triggers, different actions that he has depending on the event they draw. Going to respond to new enemies, move on the threat track, and you're going to try to do these missions before the threat track moves too far up on the threat track. And then when you do one of the Nemesis missions, then you're going to resolve it, and you're going to reset the threat track. And if you are done with all the 3 Nemesis missions, you're going to flip the Nemesis sheet, and then you're going to do the final showdown where you try to attack the Nemesis and defeat him before you reach 20 threat, or before you lose the game by dying, or other different things. So let's talk about briefly the artwork and the components.
Yes, you have this world map, which is your board. It's nice looking, nothing special, but it's a nice, easy to keep track of the where is where and where to go. There are really big location spaces, which fits a lot of miniature, standees and the heroes and the enemies. I enjoy that. It looks kind of like Pandemic.
Like many of these
I feel like
world
that.
map games.
But overall, I think there are great artwork on the cards. It's
nice.
You know what you're getting. It's Marvel. They look like the Marvel figures.
Yes, there's not that much artwork in the game.
No.
Like, it's way less than in other Fantasy Flight Marvel games, like Champions and all of that, because there's not that many components here. And also, it's one of those, it's like everything is standee, so there's no miniatures. And we saw like the price for this is pretty high. Like, I feel like board game prices are going
just
up.
rising,
That's another video. I saw Rado actually just did a video about like, have board games become too expensive? We might talk about that as well. Because they're getting expensive, but yeah, you basically, you will see the game if you like it, you will see the price, you will decide if that's fair for you.
It's a decent quality of components.
Oh yeah.
I like the bases for the heroes because they're just not the basic ones. They have a little rubble, they can stand a little elevated. I like that, but components wise, it doesn't justify the cost of this game.
So, do you want to ask me a question?
Yes, does this game have, perchance, a rulebook?
It does, and I have it here in my hand, randomly laying here in my hand. It's a pretty short rulebook. It's one of those rulebooks that you have to read from start to finish, because it has like it is one of those rulebooks where you have the phases and order of the game, and you have all of the different small rules at the back. I don't mind that, because I read the whole rulebook, so you get all the rules. It's a pretty simple game, not really easy to make any mistakes. There's some, I don't remember the word, ambiguities.
Ambiguities? I think that is a word.
There's some things that is a bit unclear, but those are not many, and they're pretty simple to understand by yourself. So all in all, not the best one. It's not still like the Fantasy Flight always did, is 2 rule books to learn to play, and the complete rule, it was basically a reference. And that's not how they did it here, but it is a completely fine rule book that was easy to understand. Another question for you then. Does the game have any play rates?
Yes, it does, and it explains the round phases in a decent way.
Yes.
So it has rule books and a play rate, so thumbs up for that.
Great. We have played the game 2-player.
Yes.
And we played it only once, as we said, and it took 1 hour and 45 minutes. We played with the easiest of the nemesises, which was Loki. But that was also with some rules checking and stuff like that. So that scenario shouldn't be impossible to play in like an hour and 30 minutes.
I agree.
Maybe up to 2 hours, depending. We had some luck with where the missions came out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the game became a bit easier.
Super good.
Super good.
Yeah.
But I will say maybe 2 hours for 2 people.
Yes.
The box says 3 to 4 hours.
I don't know if that is with like 5 players, but if I was to play this game for 4 hours, I would not be happy. This needs to be like 2.5 hour tops, I think.
Yeah, that feels long. We cannot, of course, say anything about it, but I know myself, I enjoyed it for 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Yes.
I don't think I would have enjoyed it for 3-4 hours.
I think so too.
So, gameplay. Going to touch on some different points, which is what reviews kind of are.
No, we're going to ignore it.
Yes.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. This is a game about things. This is the same kind of style of games like Pandemic and other games in this genre like Eldritch Horror and all of those map-based games where you're moving around on a map.
Yeah.
I feel this is kind of like not a mix, but it has like elements.
It has familiar
elements
yeah.
from other kind of games. You are fighting enemies because if the enemies are there, they can move and attack you,
so
or they can
unoriginal.
They can destroy bases and stuff like that. And you're trying to do these missions because if you don't do the missions, then the threat is going to move more up, and there's special enemies and all of that. So you always have stuff to deal with in different. But I feel like it was, for me, more fresh than, for example, Pandemic, where it's like, it's the cubes. You get away, you get rid of the cubes.
Yeah.
Here you have like, you have the mission, and that works in a kind of different way, and then you have the enemies.
Works a little different way.
All of it is basically rolling a die. So it's not that different, but it kind of tricked me into making it feel different.
Well, and some things that make it a little different, that adds to the freshness feeling of the game, and the enjoyment of the game for me is the nice action selection system that this game have. You can't do just whatever you want. You have these tokens, and each action has like 2 token spaces. So if I want to move, I can just do that a limited number of times, and depending on which hero you have some other bonuses and actions as well, and you can get a lot of variabilities because all of the action action boards.
Heroes.
Yeah,
like this.
and the action boards.
And then you have like the aspect, which gives you different kind of changes up to how the actions work, and gives you some kind of special bonus.
Yeah, so
and
you can change
mix
that up,
them
mix
up
it
in any way that you like. So you have like 10 basically choices because all of them are double-sided. So, but kind of 20 different heroes to choose from, and 6 of these aspects. So not the variability. This is the part I enjoy the most.
Yes.
The action selection part.
I agree.
Because that kind of made it a bit more restricted, and it felt kind of, it might have been like the Eurogamer in me who enjoyed like, this is kind of a worker placement action selection game, and I enjoyed that part of the game. That felt kind of fresh and different to me in this kind of game. There are some different special abilities, team up, that you get like a shared resource. Everybody has like a special power. Enjoyed that part of the game as well.
Yes.
And you have these support cards you can unlock, so there's a lot of different variability.
Yeah, it felt like overall a cozy game to play, but it can be very tense as well. We had some moments where we were just like, oh no, he did that. Now we are almost dead.
Yes.
But it is
dying is bad in this game.
It is a very mechanical game. There is not much narrative to speak of.
No.
You have to come to this game for like the action boom, not the heart-shaking stories. That is not a thing, but yes, heartbreaking.
Shake my heart to the core. You could say that.
Yes.
This is like it's a mechanical rolling dice, doing tests, trying to there's a lot of luck. Basically, it's so that you for me, I enjoyed playing it because I was just sitting down and rolling these dice. Yay, it worked. No, it didn't work. And moving here and trying to make the best of the puzzle of the actions and all of that.
Yes.
Anything you want to add for the gameplay stuff?
Yes, there's one thing that I wasn't a super fan of, but I get why it's there. They're just very many abilities, different abilities to keep track of, because you have your hero and that has some abilities. If you get like defeated once, you turn that around and you have other abilities. You have to like...
No, you have this... Oh, you get another hero, basically.
Yes, you get another hero. Yeah. And you have also some cards belonging to your hero that you can activate if you get enough resources on them. You also have the different missions that you're trying to accomplish, and the different enemies, and the different nemesis from round to round, and that has some special abilities as well. So I felt for my first play that I was just like, I can't even take in half of this information because there's a lot of stuff. So I just ended up plain ignoring a lot of the abilities that I have. That's going to be better with future games. And I feel like it's a good thing that there are many things in this game, but there was a little too much for me.
Yeah, I didn't see that as a problem. There wasn't that many things, but that's basically just me. People, but you know that was a problem for you, so people would probably feel that as well. But as you said, like many games, it wasn't more than many other games that you need to play at a time before you get into it, basically.
Yeah.
For me, you can.
Well, it's a little more than, for example, a regular pandemic.
Oh yeah, because regular pandemic is basic. You have one special ability, and you move around.
So I think it's good that you have more, but I just thought it was a little too much for my first game.
Yeah, but I understand what you mean. Like, you get a character with 3 different abilities. Some of them is action. You get these, which those are always the same.
And some of them are boosted.
A little bit boost action.
Yes.
And then you have the 2 support cards and the 3rd support card,
and
which you can unlock by doing your quest. And then you have the team up card, so it makes
There's
sense.
a lot of stuff.
It just, I didn't think of it, but it makes sense that you felt that way.
Thank you.
Sorry for you feeling that way.
Yes.
Yes. So who is this game for?
It's obviously for you if you are a Marvel fan.
Yes.
And I think that...
If you want to defeat Red Skull
if you want to defeat Red Skull. And if you like co-op games and you want a little more like... I don't know, a longer...
No, that it can be a longer game,
but it's still not super complicated. It's a fairly easy game to get into. You have to tolerate taking 3 to 4 hours if you trust the bugs. But I hope it doesn't take that long time. Maybe with like the super cool hard nemesis bosses.
Yes. So, final first impressions time.
Yes.
For Marvel DAGGER, which stands for something. It stands for Defense Alliance for Global and Galactic Emergency Response.
Nice.
Boom! It's a game. We played it. What do you think about Marvel DAGGER?
My first impression was, I think it was alright. It's not, I overall think co-op games are enjoyable, but not my favorite genre. Like this kind of co-op games, like story-driven, that's another genre.
Yes.
This is just action. Well, I thought there were some fresh and interesting elements to this game. I had a fun time playing. I would like to play it again. But for me, it isn't a game that I will have a desire to keep in my collection or play. Like, I would be fine playing it if somebody else wanted to.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not being like, go again. I don't get that super hyped feeling. But nothing wrong with the game. But it can't take 3 to 4 hours.
No.
No.
As a 2-player experience, I enjoyed this. I usually end up not liking most co-op games, and I liked this one. It might have been because we won, because I enjoy winning in co-op games, but I liked the mechanical stuff in it. We sat down to play it, and I knew it was going to be rolling dice, and yay, and no, and all of that, and I can enjoy that from time to time. And I did so here. It was a cozy experience, one that I liked. I liked the theme, I liked Marvel. I'm not like a huge super fan, but I enjoy Marvel as a thing. So I liked a lot about this game. But for me, like it might, if I were to had to choose to play a co-op game in this genre, right now I think I would have liked to play this one.
Yeah, nice.
But I will probably not choose to play a co-op game in this genre, but I'm very happy that we got to play it. For me, it's also one of those games that I don't have like a burning desire to explore and play more of, but that's just because we are who we are. But as I said, it's one that I liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I liked it more than many other co-op games we have played recently. I enjoyed my time with it, but it's not one that's gonna stay for me either. I think like if I had to give it like a first impression rating, it would be like a 7 or something like that.
Cool.
So yeah, I think like a 7, and that's pretty high for a co-op game like this for me. But yeah, first impression, so you know. And that is the end of this first impression video. We hope that even if it was a shorter one, that you got some info out of it that will be helpful for you to decide if this might be a game for you or not. If you are here and you enjoy us and you think what we do is fun, then you can help us out in a big way by giving us a victory punch.
And you do that by clicking that subscribe button down there, and you can click the bell button to get notifications every time we post a new video.
And that's the end of this video. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.